Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna sew a really cute Christmas dress, so let's get started. The dress will be out of velvet fabric, which I really like. I always wanted to make a dress out of that fabric, and I finally got something on a really nice homepage. I'm gonna link this down below where I got my fabric. Also down below you're gonna find the sewing pattern in my shop. You can just go ahead and download that. There are so many more sewing patterns, so if you're just interested, go ahead and check that out. And also let me know what you do and what you are making. Maybe you can tag me on Instagram. That would be really nice because I love seeing what you do. And also maybe you give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe so you don't miss any other video. If you have any questions, comment down below. I always trying to help you out. So you probably saw how the dress is gonna come out and how it's gonna look, but just in a detail, we are gonna have a skater skirt. Also we have a corset element which has like really nice front with a v-neck, and then we have long sleeve with a little ruffle on the shoulder and also elastic cuff. You're not gonna need any zippers for this pattern because it's all elastic fabric, which I really like, so you can use any elastic fabric you want. This sewing pattern is also a really nice project for people who are just gonna start sewing, and it's really nice and easy. You don't need any zippers, buttons or whatever, you just need the fabric. I used about 2 meters, so it was 150 by 2 meters. So you also have a size scale, just go ahead and check that out. I'm always sewing size small, and I also made mine just on the waist a little bit smaller. It's really easy on this project to make this dress smaller, so maybe you're getting a size up or down, just go check out the chest area, how long you need that, and then the other stuff you can just make a little smaller. That's totally fine. Also, there are a few tips when you work with velvet fabric. You are not allowed to iron on top of it, just on the left side from the fabric. If you do it on the right side of the fabric, you're going to burn all the fibers and you don't want that. Also, I would recommend you to wash the fabric first, because normally the fabrics are just dyed and not washed, and you need to wash out the leftover dyes. Otherwise, you would just make something out of that and it may be strings, or it also just turns stuff pink or whatever. These two things in mind, and then you can go ahead and start it. Something I started with is just cutting out all the pieces. In the next step I'm going to tell you how much you need so you're not missing any sewing pattern, so just go ahead and start. So that's everything we're gonna need. I'm gonna guide you really quick through it. We have twice the skirt, which is right here. It's cut it into the seam alone, and then the folding line is in a center front and center back. We have the corset element for the front piece. We have twice the front parts, and you see right here, and you have two notches for each of them, so you just put one notch to the other notch, and then you have the direction as well on the sewing pattern. Then we have the back corset element right here. In the folding line as well, you will need some pins. I'm going to use these pins because they're stretchy and just working better with them than with needles. And then we have the back piece as well. You need also the sleeves. It's going to have 2 long sleeves. So we have this right here, and then for the bottom we need some little elastic, and then for the sleeve we also need some elastic for the wrist right here, so it's gonna be elastic but also tight, so we have a really nice sleeve for that. I'm using this one right here, which is elastic from 8mm by 5 meters. So I would say we're just gonna start with the fronts and the back. The fronts right here, you have marked it. I'm just gonna sew right on top of that to secure that. So I'm just gonna sew right where to secure them, and then I just gonna put them right sides together just like that, putting pins in and going all the way up. I'm gonna do that with both sides, so then afterwards they are attached and looking really nice to that. So how you see, I just attached them. They just look like that. The folds are going this way and the same here, so it's just mirrored. And when I turn it, you can show how I sewed that. See right here, I just attached them. I'm going to use a serger just in a second to make that nice and clear. I used a normal stitch. It's not stretchable in this way, but I'm not going to want that to be that stretchable. The fabric is stretchable itself, so the seams I don't want to stretch. And what you see right here, you have this little corner right there, is that I first sewed on one right to the edge, and then how you see I just folded this part downwards, and then I sewed the other one. And you see one side is folding downwards. We're just gonna cut right in here so it's like more movable and bendable. So, and then you can just fold once down like this way, also putting a pin in. For the other side it's already bended because it's inside of that, so you can also just fold that, and then we have a nice corner. Something I would also do is that I would just serge the edges if you want. Jersey fabric is not that big of a deal because it's just going to roll up and downwards, but it does look a little bit more pretty. I'm definitely going to do it right here, serging around, and then also right there, and then I'm going to fold that like that. So 1 centimeter from the top down to the corner, leave the fabric inside, and just gonna sew right up. This is also about 7 millimeters away from how you see that's just made, and I did just sewed it, turned the needle, and made it upwards as well, and then from the inside it looks really nice as well. I serged all the edges. Here we have the corset part from the bottom, and you have this little curve here, so the longer side goes onto the bag. So, and then we can just pin that all the way. I'm also gonna serge right here with the serger. You can also use a zigzag serger if you don't have a serger, and then we are also good to go for that and can attach these two pieces. And for the bag, you have also seen that I sewed it, and it's also stretchable with because I used a zigzag stitch. Stiff or so for the top right here, I used the normal stitch. You see it's more stronger. So something I'm going to start with is the collar right here. So I'm going to serge just the top right here with the shoulder seam, and then I have to fold this part just 1 centimeter inwards all the way and everywhere, so it's nice and pretty, and then just sew 1 centimeter around it. Put them right sides together, the front and the back, and put them on top of each other, and you see the seams are matching up really perfectly. Then we can start sewing them together. And I would also sew the side seam. You also have to check that these two lines are matching on top of each other. So I'm gonna quickly sew that all, and then we can move on. So now we can move on with the sleeves. How you can see, I just made one sleeve and also made this cuff, and I'm going to show you just right now how to do that. And something I'm going to do is I'm going to put that to the left side right here. I have an elastic right here which is 20 centimeters long. It fits around my wrist, which is really nice. So, and then I'm just going to mark where the middle point is. So, and here we have the elastic, which I'm just going to stretch out, and I'm going to go really close to the edge from the fabric, so I'm not going to see the elastic when I turn it and I'm folding it inside. So how you can see, it's now made. It's also stretchable. That's how it's going to look from the inside, really nicely. And then we sew from all the way from the top to the bottom right here, which I just folded. So that is sewed right here, and something I'm going to do, I'm placing this one right in the middle, and then I take 2 pins, which I'm just going to pin right here and right there. So I am going to sew with a really large stitch right above here for the ruffles, so I can ruffle this part, and you can also make a notch where this middle sleeve is for the shoulder part. A knot into one seam, and then onto the bottom thread you can just pull on it from the other side. Obviously you see it's just gonna make some ruffles. Here, see, we have ruffled it right now, so we can now put the sleeve in. You have the left and right side from the sleeve, and you see that you have on one side 2 notches and on one side just 1 notch, so make sure that they fit really well to each other. And I always, to not put them wrong side on, I have here the outer side and here also the outer side, so I'm just gonna place it right on top and using a pin, and then I can put it to the inside and just, you can put the notch onto the notch right here. The same with the other side. So it's pinned, and I'm just going to sew normally around it, and then from the inside you can see we have also the ruffles, so that looks really nicely. And then we just sew the first sleeve and also the other sleeve I just pinned. So both sleeves I'm going to put in, and after we can move on with the skirt. So we can now put on the skirt, and I also have a little pin where the middle seam is going to be, so I can just go ahead and pin that. That is now all the way around. I'm going to search all the way around, and then I'm going to use a special zigzag stitch. Mine is just right now on this function, so you are able to stretch it then also afterwards. I also just tried it on and it fits really well. Something really easy for the hem is that I'm going to go ahead and search all the way around it. You can also use a zigzag stitch, and then I'm just going to fold it a half a centimeter and top stitch it, so it's from the edge a half a centimeter all around it, and then that's done. Okay guys, that's it for today. I really hope you liked today's video. How you just saw, I just made this skirt really easily. It's a really nice project for beginners. If you have any questions, comment them down below. I would also love you if you give this video a big thumbs up, and also subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. The next video is probably gonna be a dress because I'm just now up for dresses. So I'm gonna see you into the next video. Bye! Bye!